So today we're going to be talking about therapist assisted online, which is TAO self-help. We're also going to be focusing on the interpersonal relationships and communication piece of TAO self-help. So I want to start with just giving more of a background on what is TAO self-help. So I want to share my desktop with everyone. And if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat box. So here I want to show just this website that talks about TAO self-help in general. So what is it? So basically it's an interactive web-based program that provides assistance across many concerns that students may experience, such as anxiety, depression, interpersonal relationships, anger, substance use, and so forth. It's based on really well-researched and effective strategies that have been shown to help students know how to cope, learn more education about these different concerns, and some tools as well. So I wanted to show this video clip that really gives a good understanding in a brief way of what TAO self-help is for students before we kind of go any further. So let me go ahead and play this. Okay, great. So just as a brief introduction into what we're going to go into a little bit more detail with today. So it's important to know that all USCF students are eligible for TAO self-help. All you need is your Knight's email address to sign up. So overall, some benefits of TAO self-help is that you have access to these modules 24/7. You can sign up at any time, and you'd be able to use those in the comfort of your own home. You have this immediate access to helpful information when things may be really stressful, or you need different tools or skills to be able to cope. So some of the modules that we'll go over again in a little bit more detail, but some of the highlights is talking about anxiety, relaxation strategies, talking about mindfulness, lifestyle factors, depression, focusing on your thoughts and maybe unhelpful thinking patterns, as well as coping skills. There's substance abuse, making decisions, being able to know how to use your social support network, as well as some relationships and communication factors that we'll go into a little bit more today that talk about anger, communication styles, and problem solving. So I want to go and show you how to just access the website. So if you go to ucfcaps.com, you go to our main email address here, and you scroll down. All you have to do is click here on the Therapist Assisted Online TAO Self-Help button to be able to start to register. So here is what the website looks like. So when you register, and I'll go into a little bit more detail before we end today about what are the steps of registering for TAO self-help. I want to first kind of go through the website in a little bit more detail. So this is what it'll look like when you log in. Here are all of these wonderful tabs that we'll go through. So if we look here at the My Pathways, these are all those modules that I was just briefly talking about. So there's a Let Go and Be Well, there's Calming Your Worry for Adult, Calming Your Worry for Student, Improving Your Mood, Leaving Your Blues Behind, evaluating your alcohol and drug use, interpersonal relationship and communication. Again, we're going to go through that a little bit more in detail today. Pain management, and recovery skills and topics. So that way, when you go up here on your tabs and you want to access the modules, you'll click on the My Pathways tab. The other thing that's extremely helpful is looking at My Tau tools. So for example, the module, this one, Calming Your Worry in Your Student, and they're focused more on anxiety, will teach you about mindfulness and mindfulness tools and skills, which is really helpful in reducing anxiety. So if you go to My Tau Tools and you click on Mindfulness Library, there is actually all of these different mindfulness techniques that you can use, that you can click on one of them, explore different mindfulness techniques, and it shows you how to go through it. This one's a video, for example, which is really awesome that you have access to more of these tools going even beyond the modules. So again, another My Tau tool, it's really great, is as you go through them, you will be asked to do different logs, different activities. So each of these are connected, like these logs are for anxiety. This one is for CBT, and you can actually click on those and complete them. You can even download the app for Tau to be able to complete the logs on your own and at your own time, which is really great. Another wonderful tool of Tau is the progress measures. So if you look here on the tab here, it says progress measures, and here's all these different assessment measures that you can take to understand where are you in terms of your progress. So you can take, I encourage it to be taken before you start the modules, in the middle, and at the end. So for example, we have our mood survey, kind of seeing how emotionally you're feeling currently in the moment. Wellness survey, what are your healthy behaviors? How are you maintaining an overall well-being? PHQ-9 is about depression, so trying to understand, like, what are you experiencing depressive symptoms right now, as well as the GAD-7, which is for anxiety. And then you have the Eureka, which is understanding, like, are you ready for change? Like, are you ready to implement some of these changes towards having a better mental health? And then the last one we have is our reactance scale. So how are we responding interpersonally to other people, or when bad things may happen, and so forth. So those are wonderful measures for you to be able to track your own progress and to see, how is Tau self-help really helping me? How is it being effective? What are some things I can be doing differently, and so forth. And then there's some resources, as well as being able to choose a language. So I want to now go a little bit more detail into this one pathway, which I've mentioned, the interpersonal relationship and communication style. So if we click on this, it will bring you to the modules. So here we have managing anger, which is the first section. Then it talks about communication strategies, relationships, communication styles, and problem solving. So these are all wonderful sections of this module that really help our interpersonal functioning. How do we manage anger? How do we cope with it? What are ways to communicate effectively to have more healthy styles of communication and relationships? And what are good ways of problem solving? The other thing that's really nice about this module is as you complete them, it will do this checkbox, and it will let you know so you don't forget, like, what have I done already? The one I'm going to show in a little bit more content is this managing anger piece. So as it loads, okay. So this way you can kind of click on what one you want to do. It has when you first launched it, when you last launched it, and you can continue your session. So if you leave in the middle and you still want to do a little bit more, this is a really great way of doing that. Okay, so let me go. Let's see here. Let's do one I haven't done. Haven't done this week. Okay, so I'm going to do problem solving module. All you do is you start the session, and then you would hit begin here. So these are all implement in terms of videos, logs that you complete, that you type on. So it's a really great integrative interaction with learning and gaining more coping skills. So you can choose audio on or audio off. So we'll go ahead and keep it on audio on. So this is going to explain what are the things you're gaining from this module. So you're going to learn a 4-step problem solving model and recognize what you can change and can't change, which are really great tools to have and to use. So let's go ahead and move forward. So we can just watch this piece. So that really shows a great example of problem solving. Here is one of those activity logs like I mentioned earlier. So answer each question on the card below and click next. So you can keep track of these, you can look at them, see how things have changed, your perspectives. So for example, this says if the problem is something which you can impact, then having a good problem solving strategy is very helpful. So think of some problems you faced recently that you successfully solved. And then the next one is how did you solve these problems? For you to really critically think, kind of look at what their suggestions were and what are new ways that you can possibly solve situations. So to let you know when your activity is complete, hit play, and then we'll continue to talk about strategies for problem solving. So we can look quickly at the 4-step problem solving process that they suggest. And then they'll have this video of someone doing step 1. And then if we go to this, they'll also have a log, so you're really being able to interact and to think as well of how you connect with the video and what you would do in that situation. And then I'll go into step 2. So they do a really good job of finding ways that they connect with you by using like quotes such as the ones that we just heard. And then it's going to continue into, we're going to see another video, and then also your own brainstorming. So again, we're seeing that really interactive piece that allows Tao to have you be really integrated and invested in learning different tools and skills. Okay, so that is one of the pieces of this module. So let's go ahead and go back to the website. So here, so this is the session. So if we go back to this pathway, it says that we were in progress, that you can resume your session, which is really nice. So let's say you couldn't finish it, can always go back and I'll start you off at where you ended. So that's really a wonderful module to learn about interpersonal relationships and communication. So it's similar to how the other modules may look like as well. The other piece I wanted to point out of the website is this reminds you of CAPS's services. So we do have crisis intervention services. So during our business hours, a student can walk in at any time and be seen, and making sure you let the front desk know that you do feel like this is a crisis. The other thing is on the evenings or weekends when we're not open, to make sure you call 911 if it's an immediate emergency, but you can also call our CAPS crisis line, which is our number here. And you press 5 and they'll immediately connect you to a licensed therapist. So that's another great resource, as well as Tau Self-Help that you have access to. The last piece I wanted to do was just go to how do we sign up. So again, if I go to the Therapist Assisted Online Tau Self-Help, which is on our main website, you click on the square, and we went through this earlier. And the bottom part here, it says, how do I sign up? So what you do is you follow this enrollment link, and you use your UCF email address and enrollment key, and some other basic information they may ask to sign up. If you're a student, this is the enrollment key that they'll ask for that you will type in. So hashtag Tau helps 11. For UCF staff and faculty, it's helper44 helper exclamation point. Your enrollment key is entered when you register. You agree to the Tau agree to the Tau services, and then you check your UCF email to finish your account setup. You'll have that confirmation email, which is another wonderful part of Tau Self-Help is you can also complete the self-assessment to understand what is the best modules for me. Since there are many, where would you like to start? So this is a really great self-assessment too. So again, this is how Tau Self-Help, you can register what it kind of looks like. And when you go to the main website, it'll have sign me up. You'll click there and then you'll be able to sign up since I'm logged in. But it'll ask for the information that we just went over. So I'm going to stop presenting and just open the floor for any questions that anyone may have regarding the information that was just shared for Tau Self-Help. Okay, so since there aren't any questions, we'll go ahead and end our interactive outreach today. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to CAPS or check out the website for more information. Thank you.